Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Take Five. I am CJ, and you are?
I am Jester, Claire.
You are you
Good
ready,
morning.
Jester Claire?
Good morning again to you and to the listeners and viewers of this very unique program, where you come and get your mental therapy together with your mental tonic.
Good morning again, and let me say good morning to Alban Harris. He signed on first, and our dear friend Faithlin Hallie Douglas. Let me also say good morning to Pat Pear. I know she's listening. William Pear, good morning to you, and also Pat, your hubby. Good morning to Spice Ram in New York. We're broadcasting from 94.9 in New York on We Noise FM, also on Waves 107.5. Listen up. So if you know someone that cannot get onto the YouTube channel or on Facebook or anything, call them and said you can tune into 107.5 Waves. This is right here in Grenada. We are broadcasting there from as we speak. And also we are on, as I said, We Noise FM in New York at 94.9. So thank you so much for joining us. And last week we had a little, a little hitch and everything like that, but we are back this morning and I think everything is fine with us. So whoever wants to call this morning, the phone number here is 1473-404-1189. This is the number we are broadcasting. I did give you all my number last week because we're having issues with the phone, but we are back, as I said, and we are going back to 404-1189. So if you want to make your contributions, that would be fine. So Jester, how are you? What did you do later last night? We had some rain. This morning we had some rain. We're having things going on. So what's going on?
Well, I'm cool, I didn't realize it rained really and truly because maybe at the time I went to bed.
Oh.
I usually am a late bed goer, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe at the time I was sleeping very hard, so I didn't realize it rained.
Mm.
Yeah.
We're supposed to hear from Coffee. I'm not sure if he's hearing or not. He should be calling in anytime now. And people, you are on Take Five. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like it and share. This is the only way we can build the momentum because everyone asks us that, are you going to come back to do the mental health program? And yes, Jess and I had long discussions about it. We decided to come back. We've got a lot of people supporting us on this and we'd like for everyone to share it with someone else. So again, we are back on the mental health program. It's called Take Five. Let me say good morning to the Hill Street people up there, the Glean family. Good morning to Sugars. Um, I think we have a call coming in. We'll take it. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Coffee. How are you? And you looking down on creation? Yes, I am hearing you.
Good morning to your coffee. Coffee smoking in the morning. That's true. And we will rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you, God, for the rising of the sun. And we also thank you in advance for the going down will be the same. We thank you, God, for waking us up this morning and have us, oh God, in a right frame of mind. There are those this morning that are not in the right frame of mind mentally. So as we bring this mental program before you, God, and as people listen to this program, it's a program that are very helpful, God, that people can be able to know how to deal with mental health. I bring Jester before you. I bring CG before you, God. Grant them the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding and pick upon the task. We bring the listening audience before you, our creator, everyone, diplomatic, and all those in the diaspora. As they listen to this program, oh God, let this program touch the heart of everybody, here, there, and everywhere. Once again, oh God, I'm asking you, Lord, to bless this entity of broadcast. Bless us, bless that radio station, bless our listeners. We ask all this mercy in no other name than in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Calling once again.
Good morning, and thank you.
Amen.
Yes.
Team, pray. God bless
Thank you. Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Wonderful. What a way to start with prayers,
Yes,
for
yes.
unbeliever. The fact that we are a Christian society, it's imperative that we recognize the Almighty Father.
As usual, always, always. Okay, and we got confirmation that we are on air on 107.5. I mean, I'm feeling like he says in the top of the world, I am top of the universe, as we say. Sylvie, good morning. Hearing on the phone and not on the TV. Okay, wherever you're listening to us, Sylvie, thank you so much. And spread it, share it. We need to get as much people as and subscribe to it. So when you see that little bell dangling in front of you, there, just click on that bell. That means you subscribe to. So any notification that comes from Take Five is going to come to you wherever you're showing it. Lorna Bain has checked in. Good morning to you, Lorna. She said, and the Take Five listeners, our momentum is building, Jester.
Yes.
So thank you. Jenny, good morning. Good morning to the Did family out there in Toronto. That is Arlene, Ethan, Olivia, and Daphne. And they're always listening. Whether we were at Real FM or we are here now, we have our people listening, and we're only going to get better as time goes on. We're just in the second week of it, and we still have our people checking in. Good morning, Olovachi. Hope all is well with you. So this morning, Jester, our program that we're going to talk about, the subject that we're going to talk about is how far do you think is too far?
Yeah.
And, people might listen to and say, well, what are they talking about?
So let it one day in the meantime. But before we really get into the meat of things, we're into the month of October.
Yes.
October has a lot of traffic, It's the month.
It is Mental Health Month.
It's Child Month, the month of the elderly. I think it's also mental
Health Month. Yes.
also within there. We have Heroes Day coming up on the 19th, National Heroes Day. Plus, you have the Thanksgiving celebration on the 25th. So, quite the month of October is full of
packed.
it's
Jam packed with activities. Yes.
Plus what private promoters of happening, within. So it's a very active month indeed.
And anything as sports and anything coming up with
what before what I don't want to forget, of course I will want to express my most profound sympathy to the family of the late Johnny Charles. I know he will be greatly missed. Johnny was actually like a live wire.
It was a fountain of information, but good information.
Oh yes, yes.
Good information.
He used to reside on Salisbury Street in Sautez, and for who knows Sautez, I'm actually speaking
This is the back of the bank.
The back of the bank, if you want to put it that way, that's cooperative bank. And in fact, speaking of the bank, I remember Johnny's mom, that's
Miss Mavis.
Mavis. She's the one that used to be doing the cleaning of the bank. So Johnny, at some point in time too, used to be assisting her with cleaning in the bank. As a matter of fact, I think when she started having health challenges, Johnny used to be continuing to assist with that. So a lot of people knew Johnny through that means as well, So Johnny has been a very popular guy, plus, he has been employed with the government. He used to be attached to the Ministry of Finance. I think it's Inland Revenue Department. Apart from that, he was involved in the St. Patrick's Carnival Committee and a number of other cultural initiatives that was held around St. Patrick's. Johnny was involved. So my heart goes out to the family. I know his sisters well, people like Pauline. Yeah. Also, he also has Ken. I forgotten Ken. Ken Roderick. Jason, his brother. So
when you call me yesterday, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I knew he wasn't well, but I didn't know that he was that sick that, I mean, don't get me wrong, we all could just pass away any moment.
Yeah.
But, when you know someone and it just happened like that when you weren't expecting, it kind of hits you real hard. But you know what?
Yeah.
As you said, he was Johnny. He was a real good boy and stuff like that.
The
So
thing is, right, I would have known Johnny, but did not really know him. I get to really know Johnny, and he became close to the man that grew me up.
CJ.
He's deceased now, yeah, Kalai John.
Hmm.
So Johnny became almost like an adopted son to Kalai John.
Hmm.
With late, he just didn't used to like stay in his house, but everything. John used to be like a right hand person for Mr. John.
Hmm.
One time, even driving him to and from St. George's and other places around, getting him around. Because when you go down in age, and so that's when I really, really became more attached to Johnny. We really used to reason on issues and things.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
but I definitely will miss him. Yeah, will call McDonald College student. Yeah, he's some years younger than I am, but Johnny, like I
Yeah,
say,
like
the
you
great
said,
ones.
our
Yeah,
condolences goes out to
yeah,
his family, his relatives, his friends, and it is it is a road that we all are walking. Some just go before.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So this is Chance the Game from Toronto. That's Mary. He's saying good morning to you and good morning to
Good morning to you, Mary.
and let me also say good morning to Junior Mitchell out there in the Grand Tang area.
That's his brother.
Yes,
Yeah,
Grand Tang area.
it's
So,
cool, man.
oh yeah, they're cool
Cool
guys.
guys. Yeah,
I met both of them at the same time in
yeah.
Toronto. So, I met Mary for the first time, or Junior I knew from here. So, but they're good guys. Yeah. So, as I was saying, just our program today is how far do you think is too far? And how do you think it affects an individual mentally? And what we're talking about, doing the research and so that I know that we normally do to come up with a topic. I was scrolling along and I came up with this. I saw this story. She says, I recently had an incestual experience and don't know how to feel. Now, it is something that is going on everywhere in the world, and we're having a bit of it right here in our island. It is not new to anybody or any place, and it's how we deal with it that is paramount
Yeah.
to somebody being mentally stable or mentally disabled.
All right. So
So,
I think I want to say exactly what it is. So let me, and I'll dissect it, and then we'll take it from there.
what guys are going
When we say that, we
to
give them a clear understanding of
Oh.
what it means, really.
Mhm.
So we are speaking about incest, yeah?
Mhm.
And incest is where sexual intercourse occurs between closely related persons. And there they are speaking of like family members, relatives, that in essence what they are
Mhm.
speaking about.
And
So that's the subject matter we on
yes,
this morning.
and
Its
today
effects.
we are really going to deal with the younger people. How it affects them in that way. Because the story that I got, it says, "Hi, I am 14 years old, and I just discovered there was a term for this, and I am thankful because I feel so valid now. I experienced this with my dad and cousin. However, I'll be talking about my cousin specifically in this post. Recently, I went through an experience with my cousin where he expressed he had feelings for me. It was totally selfish, and they forced it upon me when I said no many times. It's been rough on me as this happened only recently, and I feel filthy now." So that is the first thing. They forced it out. They were forcing it out. Although she was saying no, 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 but they were trying to force her. But she says, and she felt filthy. So already it started to affect her mentally.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, Mary Olavachi. Buongiorno. How are you? So it started to affect her mentally like that. He says, this situation also changed my view on previous times with that cousin. I had a lot of times where I questioned how far is too far for a cousin relationship, where I received numerous uncomfortable compliments and phrases alongside weird physical affection. He told me he loved me, but I never said it back. It felt too weird, especially with how frequent his words were getting. I was being treated like a girlfriend Getting called cute, receiving head rubs and pats, getting told, I love you, and receiving frequent good mornings and good night texts. He would save my pictures and upload them in his account, captioned with something about how beautiful I was or how pretty I was. I told myself I was looking into it too much, but I wasn't. In his confession, he said he loved me as a crush, not as a cousin. My cousin said that he did not care if we were related and that there were cousins who dated. Emphasis on he did not care. But I did not want anything to do with this. Our bond is broken. He tried to cover up the confession and hasn't contacted me since then. Here is the kicker. I confided in my mom. She supports me. However, she told me I should ignore what happened and move on. She also said she doesn't want to tell his mother, or rather my aunt, because it is embarrassing. She doesn't understand why this affects me so much, but I feel an ickiness within that I can't shake, even though I know why it feels this way, but I can't help it. She said it is not that hold on, I have to finish that one. She said it is not that serious because there was no genuine relationship since I rejected him. I feel angry at that because there was still interest, even if he did not reciprocate. Even if I did not reciprocate. Am I crazy for being upset at her response? Am I crazy for feeling like this? In my head, it is like telling a person who escaped a kidnapper, it is not that serious. You did not actually get hurt. So, now, this is kind of, in a way, you understand how she's feeling, yeah?
Yeah. But I think what is important to note here, based on what she might go going through, it wouldn't be not just the words being expressed to her, but it probably might be the body language coming from the person expressing it to her. I say this to say because I am in regular contact with my daughter, and every day we tell each other we love each other. You understand?
That's a different thing.
That's what I'm saying. But remember, he's telling her that he loves her.
He has a
But
crush on her.
yeah,
He has a
and
crush.
that's what makes the difference in that whole thing there. He said he's a crush. Yeah, man. I
And
think
he doesn't
that's
care
what
whether she likes him or not,
that
or whether
makes
she
the difference.
reciprocates in it.
Yeah,
So, when I'm doing the research, and this is a heavy topic, I always
yeah.
enlist the help of the assistance of someone else. And this is what it is, it says.
But before you move on there, let's deal with it one time. The way the mother responded to her, I don't think that was the appropriate way to deal with it. And mothers, yeah, you got to take note of that when your daughter or your niece or whoever is being bothered, to handle it in such a way. I believe you're just creating more mental pressure.
We have a call.
We have
Let's
a
see.
call coming.
Good morning. Hello? Are you hearing me? Yes. Right.
Among some people that we share that topic, that if a lot of people who are in that this is going on, you will have them like the dance. But what I am looking there at that young lady, as just rightly said. Now, there is something in the way in which the mother responds to the daughter, that individual. I'm asking myself the question, is it an experience that that mother have along the same line with her mother? Is it something that she went through? Maybe whether be as it may, there, there's a same course that that mother took. That is why she can be able to tell her daughter, in other words, the remark that she made. I believe that she could have gone under the father by educating the daughter. You understand? Counsel the daughter. And I believe that there is something that this mother should bring home to her daughter. Maybe she went through a similar situation. And by just putting the daughter, in other words, the answer that you give the daughter, you just put your daughter on hold. Why you didn't go down to the mitigate? Why you did not say, hey, I want to be honest with you as a mother. I went through that. And that is wrong. Claire, one of the answers say, you understand? Is this something that the mother know that she mother went through and he doesn't want to tell the doctor that? I rest my case.
Thank you. You know, I thought the same thing.
Interesting.
It's interesting. Because when I read it, I thought the same thing. But let me read what my my assistant, and not my husband, but the person that I normally lean on to get when it's that deep. He says, we are talking about teenagers here. Boys at that age, which was his age of 13, are all about how they feel. Their bodies are more developed than their brains. Feelings take precedence over critical thinking. How the girl feels does not matter to him. Teenage girls, however, are different. Their brains, most of the time, are in step with their bodies and sometimes ahead. The young woman in this article is struggling with accepting that her cousin would find it okay to voice and act out on his feelings in such a way that would cause her such discomfort. There was no disclosure of actual sexual contact. That in itself looks okay. However, the young lady in her mind sees it as just disgusting. I think the mother underreacted to her daughter's pleas for help, therefore causing much more distress for her. That's it for the daughter. Mother's reaction is very disturbing. I'm not blaming her because it may be ignorance at play here. Also, the fact that she's more concerned with the embarrassment that may be caused by involving the other mother. She has discounted her daughter's feeling just to save face. There are cases where siblings have assaulted another and the mother chooses not to get the authority involved. Why is that, you may ask? Nothing in Grenada is kept confidential, even to protect the innocent, and they are the ones suffering the assault again and again. God only knows how many times that very thing continues to happen there. This is a very vexing problem with no simple answers. Our communities must take our collective head out of the sand and face this head on with education and action. See something, hear something, speak up, say something. Our authorities must step up their approach to this problem. If not, we'll be left with too many broken men and women to deal with going forward. We are a Christian society. Let us live up to it by loving our neighbors and doing the right thing, even when we don't feel like it.
Exactly.
You understand? So when Coffee spoke about the mother thing, and I said that before, I touched on this before in other programs that we have. There are a lot of us as mothers that knows what is going on with our children. Even when our children is crying out for help, we do not pay attention to them. It's like, oh, don't worry about it, nothing happened. But you do not know how the child feels or how the person feels when they're going through this.
Because I thought that the response that the mother gave her,
Mhm.
she definitely felt that
She did not
she
think
not
about,
seek
yes.
injustice on
Oh,
her
yes.
part,
Hmm.
and that is what is really um alarming to me,
Hmm.
actually baffling. They don't take these things and them for granted, you know.
Listeners, I know it is a very touchy subject, and I know we can sit and say, well, it hasn't happened to me. But you can do something about it when our children comes to us. Sometimes they may not come to us, but if we are paying attention to our children, we would see that something is not right with them. We will see that if we are paying attention. But you see, this day and age, Jester, so many people are bombarded with life itself, what is going on around them, the lack of a job, the lack of food, the
Economic
lack of the
situation.
economic situation, all these things. And again, the social media thing. There are a lot of parents that are so sucked up in the social media aspect of life that they're not seeing what is really going on around them to pay attention to say, okay, something is wrong with my son or something is wrong with my daughter. They are acting differently to what is the norm.
That's true. That is quite true. Yeah, so much emphasis is being placed, have been placed on social media these days.
No,
Yeah.
it is, it's strange. And, you know, I always say to people, I wouldn't friend you on Facebook because I see you every day. And if I have to say something to you, I will phone you. I will call you and say we have to have this kind of thing. And this here, Jester, is we're being led to being isolated.
Yes, and our children is being led astray. Because the thing about it, in some instances, that so for example, a parent might be going to work. She had to start preparing, especially if she live in the so-called country areas.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or let's say the rural part of Grenada. She start by maybe by 5 o'clock. She start preparing. She heads out by 6, half past 6. She spend the entire day on the job. She leaves at 4. She get back not until about minutes to 6 in some instances.
Mm-hmm.
And then still, when she gets back home, she pick up her device and spend. So the child is actually being neglected for a number of hours.
Yes.
And that is where the danger lies. A lot of things can happen.
It's happening. It's
Yeah.
happening, and it can happen right in front of your face, right before your very eyes, as it say, and you're still not seeing it because your radar is not on what is going on around you. Just so we'll have to take a quick break, and we will be right back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
Mommy, when we going shopping? School on Monday and all my snacks done. Baby, worry not. It have the perfect spot right here in Sotes for all our shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy. Located on Main Street Sotes in St. Patrick, they cater for all our grocery needs, from laundry detergents, frozen meats, hygienic supplies, up to snack items. They've got it covered all at reasonable prices. For more information, call Smart Buy today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. They're open Monday to Saturday for all your shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
And we are back. So, Jester, we're going to continue with what we are talking about. How far do you think is too far? And I'll continue with this story. So, after she confided with her mom, she's still feeling as though she did not get the answer that she needs. So she says, She said it is not that serious. That's what her mom says. Eh? It is not that serious because there was no genuine relationship since I rejected him. I feel angry at that because there was still incest, even if I did not reciprocate it. Am I crazy for being upset at a response? Am I crazy for feeling like this? In my head, it is telling me that a person who escaped a kidnapper is not that serious as you actually get hurt. I had to read that over again because this is what it is when you are expecting your parents to tell you something to make you feel better. And instead, they're kind of cover it and tell you, oh, don't make a big deal of it because, nothing really happened. What
She's
happened was
stifling her mom.
emotionally, yes, it was emotional what happened to her, and she's still feeling the effect of it. She says, I feel angry that all my past childhood memories with him are now tainted. But my mother just says, focus on the innocent days. How can I focus on the innocent days when that same boy confessed to his cousin without thinking about the consequences of how she would feel? She said it is not serious too because we're still young. My cousin is 13. And as I read before, based on the feedback that I got from the person that assists me with it. It says that boys think not with their head, but with their body. It is said that we as girls, we develop faster and are more solid in our thinking than boys are. They get a growth spurt at 18 and can keep going. I think ours stop at 21. But we are more mature in our thinking or anything. So she's saying that he's 13 and she's 14. But as it said before, boys use their head. They don't really care about how you feel, how I feel. It's about the body, how the body feel and what they want right here, right now. And this is going to cause a bad effect on a lot of young women, and it could be on young men too, because vice versa, it happens on both sides of the coin. But the girls are the ones that are feeling it because we are the kind of emotional type. A guy might get sexually assaulted, but he may not say anything because he is taught to be mature and don't talk and say anything. Whereas we wear our hat on our sleeves. People can see when something is wrong with us. And if we as parents do not pay attention, as we said before, to what is going on around us with our children, we are in for a rude awakening, a real rude awakening, because it's not going to stop there. It has been happening for centuries, more and more. But now, with the age that we are living in, the social media age, everything is in the open. And I always say to people that have young children, do not post your children's picture on social media. There are pedophiles out there that that targets children. With a picture now, you can, if you see the date that a picture was taken, you can do so much with it without even you being aware of the fact that this is what it is.
Yes, that's quite true. And not just about the pictures. It amazes me again how parents allow the young girl children to be dressed. I mean, it's just, it's just crazy, you know?
It is. And you see the thing about it. I'm not saying that, you don't want your children to look pretty or anything, but you don't have to expose them the way I see some of us as parents exposing our daughters to make them feel as though, well, they're really dressed or this is who they are. This is not who they are. Because when we were growing up, people used to say, oh, you look really nice with your pretty dress. But there was no part of us was exposed except to our knees and so on. So then when you put on socks, the socks reach right up to your knee. You hardly seen anything, but now it's a free fall. Everybody actually almost walking naked.
So, um, not cutting you. Parents, they need to pay particular attention and in observing the children in the pattern of behavior. So if they know, like they observe certain things are happening. So for example, um, we have a call
We have a
coming.
call coming in. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, Shama.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. But anyway, they're kind of big hand thing, cat in time. But uncertainty, I did so touch dynamic relations, how far, too far. And you're talking a lot about parents, children, and the way they're brought up today in fact, we are certainly hurting when we see what is happening, and sometimes we try to find a solution for it, and sometimes the solution is evade us because it's no longer a case of parents being parents to children. It seems as though it's children being parents to parents. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yes. So it is not an easy task. We talk about the way they dress. You have instances where some parents don't give a rat's whatever how their children leave their home. And you also have those who are concerned, but they're not even aware that the daughter is putting the skimpy outfit in the bag to leave the house well dressed, and they get out there, they put on whatever they want to put on. The influencing of others within the society, not only the system, but generally, it's very, very high. Everybody, especially in the younger generation, they're trying to emulate what they feel is the greatest and most fashionable and most popular styles and personalities and attitudes. And the influencers, this is how you have the social media influencers on them. You also have their peers influencing them as well. So there's so much angles and so many different areas that need to be looked at. It's very complex. It's a difficult task for parents of today, but hopefully with listening to people like yourselves talking on these topics can certainly make a difference in this life. Thank you so very much. Really, thank Have you. A nice day. You too.
Thank you, Shama.
Okay,
Yes.
bye bye.
Quite a bit of mouthful there from Shama. I think she have put that into a really good perspective, Claire.
Yes.
Because what is happening also, and parents, mothers, there are situations where, in some instances, that clothes coming for the children sometimes it's not really the mother that bites. Sometimes they have a sister in America or somewhere out in the international world, and they do send clothes in barrels. But if you're always a conscious mother of what your children wear, then you will speak to that sister of yours and say, hey, when you're buying clothes to send, I would like for you to buy such and do not buy such and such for
Exactly.
my dog.
Exactly.
That is what's supposed to happen. So
But as Shama made the point, sometimes the children or the parents are to the parents. And sometimes a child, a mother is giving, I've seen it, a mother is taking out, okay, this is what I want you to wear today. And the child is kicking smoke. I don't want to wear it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Then that's where you as a parent, as the parent comes in and said, this is what you're going to wear. You're not wearing anything else or you don't move.
Yeah.
You remember when we had that topic a few months ago when Miss Ferguson called and talked about her daughter that said she was going somewhere
Yes.
and she didn't stop? That never left my mind because this is what good parenting is all about. She did not just stop her from going, but she also went further. She baked a cake for her. She didn't just let her, oh, you're not going anywhere and you can sit there and mope if you want. She changed the situation into from a negative into a positive. They sat, they had cake, they talked. The child was able to understand, well, I understand what you're saying, mom, because if I've gone, I don't know how I'm going to come back or how I'm coming back.
You see, and that's the thing, eh? And even you and I, maybe as we go back down memory lane, and we realize our parents, our guardians in bringing us up, the whole time they would have taken certain stance against what certain decision that we wanted to make, and they stood up against it. And at that time, you were cursing them. But as you look back now, you tell yourself, you know what? That
They
was the
knew what they were
best thing.
talking about.
Yeah, because
They knew.
if they didn't, it could have put you on a pathway of leading you astray. Seriously.
And you're quite right because we that have children now, because of what we learned back then, it is helping us to train our children in the right way. Because I'm telling you, I have two, as I always say, and they're adults. But at the same time, being adult, I can still talk to them if they're doing something that is not kosher. I say, hey, that's what you're doing and make no sense. That ain't right. Pull your pants up or pull your panty up because that ain't right. You understand? No, because you see, we could have ended up in jail if our parents did not do. We could have ended up on the street, as we see a lot of people. We could have ended up being very promiscuous, doing all kind of wrong things. And so we, as you say, we cause, well, come there, let us go down there. Everybody's going this and that. And I've learned that what everybody's going on, you don't have to do what everybody is doing. Because when everybody goes and something happens, one body feels the brunt of it, you. As our parents, our grandparents used to say, they bring friends bring you more and then bring you back. And we used to wonder what they're talking about. Now we know what they're talking about. And the things, now my daughter, I see she dressed something and she have a little belly outside and I told her, can I watch? And say, Mom! And I'm like, what? I didn't say anything, but she knows why I'm watching her. But at the age that she is, I cannot just go mandating that you do not wear this or you do not wear that. Do it decently.
But Claire, at this stage now, I realize, you as well realize, there has become a big breakdown, really, the decadence of our moral fabric in our society. And to me, that did not take so long to happen.
Nope, nope.
You know, it's a serious, serious thing, and and as Shoma quite rightly said, it's like children now being the parent and the parent being children, and they tell themselves because well they love the children so much
misguided,
and that's
misguided.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you talk about there were children put on the skimpy thing in their bag and go, there's a mall in Canada called Scarborough Town Center. But one time they had a police station inside there because children used to go to school in their uniforms. And as soon as school over, everybody turned into street clothes and all kinds of stuff used to take place. That's what the mall I banned my daughter from going in there. I said, you're not going to Scarborough Town Center unless I am going. Because a lot of bad things used to take place there. And yes, a lot of us as parents are innocent to what our children are doing behind our back. That's why I always say that I am not with my children 24/7. So if somebody come to me and say, okay, I see Candice doing this. As a parent, I wouldn't come and say, oh, you're telling lies on my daughter. Oh, you're telling lies on my son. I have to investigate first and see where the truth is and where the lie, where the gray areas are and deal with it. Because the parents that always defend their children, at the end of the day, when the children are doing wrong things, they are the one that end up being shameful.
So, Claire, parents, we are just trying to make you understand that you need to be closer to your children. You need to be
paying more
counseling
attention.
them and paying more attention. Look what happened just Sunday gone, Claire. And at that time, I was in the bingo in Mount Rouge, and I got I was reading through the chat for my son, the school chat with my son, and apart from reading there, somebody called me and said there was a little guy from Riverside. He left and he went by the barber to cut his hair. And he left just maybe around 3, after 3 thereabout. And night started to come, and the mother did not see him. When they found out what happened, he went in the vehicle with a strange, I understand, three strange men.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, thank God. Later on, a little later on down, like, he returned, but nobody know who it was that he went with. So these are the sort of things that you need to be counseling your children about.
To not go in
You don't,
with
yeah,
strangers.
yeah, and so
Somebody just made a point that says poverty can cause incest as well, not having anything or anywhere to go.
that is so
That
true.
is quite true. And it is not an easy subject for us to talk about this morning.
Yeah.
You know, I really and truly don't know which way to put it, to be quite honest, Jester,
But
because it is
that's
not.
quite true, because the person that might be the perpetrator of such acts, they may be the one, they may be the breadwinner for not just maybe his immediate family, but
Mhm,
maybe to other families in the yard circle, so
mhm,
to speak. And that is why sometimes, even if the parents want to take a stand, but because of the economic pressure, they probably feel they will be feeling the brunt of, they tend
mhm,
to let it slip by.
mhm.
So I understand exactly the point what the person is making there.
Someone just says, I have nieces that take change of clothes to school. The teachers had to call us to see how they were dressed. Again, with the, and just, I've seen, I don't know if you call that pants, if you call that shorts, I don't know what you call it. Because I've seen they're making some kind of jeans, some short jeans these days. Like they lose some of the material while they were sewing it on the machine. Honestly, I mean, there's no wrong in wearing shorts, no wrong whatsoever. But when you see, I've been on the airport when I was coming back here. I on the airport. No, I'm blind. When I was going to Cuba, Candice and I were sitting in the lounge waiting, and I've seen a couple of girls pass by. The jeans are short. It's really short. But the one that really bothered me was the jeans is short, the legs are flared out with the shortness of it. And most of the girls, they're not wearing any underwear. So she had a bag that swings across a crossbody bag. And while she's walking, the bag is pulling up one side of it. At one time, the whole butt cheek was showing on the upper. And I says, Candice? She says, Mom, do not look. But so these things happen,
Yeah.
and she had a mother with her, and that is what I'm saying. When you are a mother and you accept these things, and it was a teenage daughter, and you accept these things, how do you expect for that child to turn out later on down the road when you cannot control her? We need to take a quick break, Jester, and we shall be right back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. with CJ and Jester. Kruger's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
Mommy, when we going shopping? School on Monday and all my snacks done. Baby, worry not. It have the perfect spot right here in Sotes for all our shopping needs. We shop in Smart with Smart Buy. Located on Main Street Sotes in St. Patrick, they cater for all our grocery needs, from laundry detergents, frozen meats, hygienic supplies, up to snack items. They've got it covered, all at reasonable prices. For more information, call Smart Buy today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. They're open Monday to Saturday for all your shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. Kruger's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick. And just we are back. So we are going to continue with the program here on how far is too far. And you know the funny thing is everybody has a little something as to what is the best way to deal with it. And we are doing the program because we're trying to figure out how to go about doing that in the best way we know how, right? And the thing is, it is not a simple thing as everybody think it is. It is not simple. And a lot of parents, as one of the person made the comment that poverty caused it. And there are some people that, you know, you have they're in your life and it says the father is not the father of the child before. So he feels that it is a-okay to interfere with that child sexually or assault the child sexually. And this is being covered by a lot of mothers.
Yeah.
And it is something that we as mothers or parent or sometimes single parent has to wake up and smell the coffee on because it is affecting our child's life for the rest of their lives. It is not just going to go by and say, okay, well, that happened, and I just let it go. It's not something that you can just let go. It stays with you forever and a day. And folks, the number to call is 404 1189 if you want to make a contribution. I know this is a very tough topic to talk about, but as it says, if you see something, you hear something, speak about it, because our children's lives are in danger, serious danger, I'm telling you. Our children's lives are in danger. And we cannot sit there and let it happen and say, well, that's okay. They are going to get over it. They never get over it. Some of them, they attempt suicide a whole lot. Some of them succeed at dying by suicide. You understand? And if we as parents, with our conscience is going to pay for it later on. Because if you know that something happened to your child under your watch, then think about how that child is feeling. If that child takes his own life, his or her own life, and you could have done something to stop it.
Yeah, so Claire, when they are under such mental pressure as a result of the attack of incest, um, that changed their life in a negative sense forever in some instances. Not everybody who went through it was able to, get over it.
I know.
And I must applaud those that got over it, and I know a few that got over it. But
Or it
when you
seems to
when you
get
listen
over
to
it.
experience, um, it really wasn't easy for them. It really wasn't.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, I well, I spent a whole lot of years in Toronto, and I remember the adult men that were sexually abused by their coach, by their teacher, by whoever it is that was in their life, pretending to be somebody that takes care of them. And even though they took therapy, they made it into an adult. So, and some later on in their life, they did die by suicide because the pressure of knowing that you took my life away from me, not literally, figuratively, but at the same time, you end up taking your life literally.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about teenagers today, boys as well as girls, it happens to both sexes. And as we can't stress enough, we as parents, the role we have to play in getting our children on the right track and staying on the right track. It is a hard job. And anybody says that parenting is easy, they got to go and find another memo that says so, because it is the hardest job. It is a 24/7 unthankful job for most of us as parents.
So I think we need to emphasize here, not just teenage girls, but boys. They are highly at risk, equally nowadays, as it is for teenage girls. Gone are the days when mothers used to say, tie your hand because my cock is out.
Yeah, God, because both of them are
That has
trouble.
become somewhat irrelevant based
Yes.
on how society has become.
Yes. So with the little boy, did he say anything? Did they did anything to him, or they just took him for a drive? What happened?
I haven't gotten the details, which I need to find out. I need to, seek some information as to what really transpired. No, I definitely will, but I haven't had that information.
Okay. So we're going with continuing. It says, I believe at 13, hey, you should know the difference from family and a potential partner. And I believe that a 13-year-old should have morals to at least have some consideration about it. In his confession, he showed no shame. He treated it like some light-hearted joke, saying, hee hee, about it all, even daring to play it off as a prank until he finally admitted that his confession was real. It was as though he was proud of it. Ay, ay, ay. Regardless, even if he is too young, I'm still affected by this deeply. There is a reason HOXA, which is child on child sexual abuse, has a term for it. He tried to tell me this is our secret. And that, Jester, That thing about secret, you don't have to tell anybody because it is our secret. This is dangerous. And if any one of a young person is listening to this today, sitting there with your parents, pay attention. Any adult person or anybody of the opposite sex or even the same sex with you approaches you to do something to you and telling you it is our secret, run. No, run.
Yeah.
Tell somebody. If you don't want to talk to your parents because you're afraid because of the way how you grew up, tell a friend. The friend might go tell other people, but at least you are safe than having to say it is our secret. You don't have to tell anyone because that is where.
Because Claire, when incest have been committed, the perpetrators find different ways and means of trying to keep it undercover as much as possible. In some instances, for example, they threaten them. Yeah, threat is being used. In other instances, they give them big luxurious items. They spend big money on them, buy brand name, you know, things for them.
Listen,
You know,
a cell phone is $1,400 and up. An iPhone, the Apple iPhone. I am a working individual, worked all my life, and I refuse to pay all that money for a phone. But when you walk around these days, you see young children just with iPhones. What do you call it? S21, S8, or whatever, the S20. The bigger the numbers, the more the money. Yeah, you lose count because every Friday they're making them.
They are updated.
Yes. So when you see a young child with an iPhone and you kind of know the parent of that child, you start questioning yourself, where did they get the money to buy?
Yeah.
And it's not that children are doing chores these days, also go around, what do you call it? Cutting people's yard. No, they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not that their parents are well off that they give them money enough to buy a cell phone for $1,400. So you start to question, it's not your child, but you are starting to question now, where is that money coming from? And who is the perpetrator that is using your child for the things that they tell you they want, or you think make them believe that they want or need in their life at that time?
Yeah, and Claire, it just come to my mind here that parents and teachers should be working very closely together because what might tend to happen? So, for example, that child, somebody would have provided her with this luxurious phone, for example, but guess what? She doesn't use it at home, but she might be seen using it in the school. So there now, the teacher now have a role to play and start questioning, just as what the point you just brought up a while ago. And then now she need to get onto the parent and say, well, I've seen Anna with such a phone, and she probably might know of the economic situation of that parent. That is not impossible, but it's not likely to happen based on how the living standards are. And start having that conversation, and then investigations can start going. Yeah.
And someone just said, this is why parents need to have open communication with their children. Be your child's friend. Set boundaries with that friendship, but ensure that your child can come to ask you about anything. And I firmly believe that. I always used to say to my children, I'm not asking you to be afraid of me. I'm asking for respect. You give me and I'll give you. I'll respect your boundaries and your privacy also. But you have to tell me if something is going on in your life that I need to know about that I can fix. Because you see, and again, some of us as parents, even though you come to me and you say, Claire, I see Candace with a cell phone for $1,400. I'm not saying that you did not give it to her or you cannot afford it, but that doesn't sound. What do you think he will? Well, I will say to you, mind your business.
And that is, I mean, you should see, you shun that person off just because they show concern for your own child. And when you shun them off like that, Guess what does end up happening?
But most times, these are the parents that know what is going on in their household with their daughters. You know that they are the ones that knows what's going on in their household with their daughters and what's taking place. But because they're getting something more than what they were getting before, they sweep it under the rug and let that child suffer for their benefit. It is sometimes it's not about the child's benefit most times,
Yeah.
It is about the parent's benefit, even most times when the parent is a single parent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one of the Calypsonian this year, I think it was Big J, had a song considered mothers as mothers. Was it Big J? Is it a Big J or so? One of them. I can't remember exactly which one of them. But it's along that line, because of what parents encourage for the children. And they know that would affect them in a negative way, the child that is.
So again, I can't stop stressing it. We as parents, even though we are single parent as mothers, and even fathers, there are fathers that are single parent also that have to go to work to provide for their children, and there are pedophiles out there that let me tell you something. Even though you might be living in an area and you tell yourself, oh, nobody is really paying attention to what is going on, that is the biggest mistake you might make too. Because there are people that knows your every move, and then they pounce on your children when you're not there. And again, that word, it is our secret. Do not make it a secret. You're not working with Victoria here.
Yeah.
Do not make it a secret because they are hurting you. And when you get to discover that you are being hurt by that person and you didn't know, it's when your brain goes really, really strange and you start doing a lot of wrong things.
And you see, that's the thing here, Claire. I remember back then growing up in the village in Mount Craven, like all the senior community members, it's like they had that right to govern whatever
it takes a community to raise a child.
Behavior that you are adopting. Wherever they meet you, they can pull up on you. They could have even beat you.
Yes.
And when you go and you complain to your parents, sometimes you get moved.
You get moved?
Yeah, I remember those days in Mount Craven growing up in the
That's for sure.
70s. Yeah.
That is for sure. Because you see, at that time, people really did care about the people in the community. As it says, it takes a community to raise a child, and those days are gone out the window. Imagine you have a child going to school, and the teacher might call and say, you know what, Jester, I don't like how Kira is behaving these days. Something's off. What do you think? You go to the school, the teacher call you in, to discuss it. You go to the school, and Kira is sitting right there with you. And what you do? You lambaste the teacher right in front of that child. And then you want to tell me that when that child starts disrespecting you, you want to go complain to somebody else and say, oh, I cannot control her. I don't know what to do. You are the cause of it.
Yeah.
You are the cause of it.
Certainly.
So we as parents, and I can't stop saying, we as parents have to know when to draw the line. We cannot love our children so much that we spare the rod and spoil that child. Because later on, they don't really wreak havoc for you. The society itself has to bear the brunt of what happening to that child.
Yeah.
And if you don't, somebody said a while ago, not right now, I was talking to a lady one time and she says, when children are going on like that in school and parents are not giving the good reason for the children, hence the reason why we have to have barricades around our windows and gates around our houses. Because this is the result of what happens when a parent do not have proper reason for the child, do not listen to what somebody is saying to the child.
The thing is, what we are saying here, parents, in some instances, you may have a genuine concern and probably feel that the teacher might be wrong on an occasion. However, there must be a decent way in which you handle the situation.
Yes.
Understand? And that's really what the problem is. You don't just walk into the school and just, you just lambaste the teacher, just cuss he or she up. No, that is not correct. You could deal with it in a different way, because I can imagine that there would be measures in place from the school point of view to deal with that staff member for handling the situation if it didn't, if he or she did not handle it appropriately, rather than you as the parent just feel you could just walk into the school and just cuss the teacher. It's no good in handling it in such a way.
And then just a lot of us as mothers, we get pregnant, we have a child, we hate the father, right? There's a broken home now. And it's only you being the mother and the father. There is no other male figure to say, well, let's give guidance, two of us together doing this for the benefit of our child. And fathers out there who, even though you're the parent, the mother of the child is not really letting you into her life or something like that, do not neglect the child that you know belongs to you. Step up and give some guidance. Step up and talk to that mother and say, okay, here is what's going on. I'm seeing this on Sylvia. People are talking about it. What can we do to guide her into the right direction? Instead of staying back and say, me, I know nothing to do with the mother ain't know nothing to do to me, with me, so I ain't taking no part in it. This is your child.
Yeah.
Yours. And when something happens, and this is it, when something happens to that child, somebody molests that child, and you get to know, you're taking cutlass to go and take out the person's neck and all this kind of thing. This could be avoided if you stepped up in yes. This could be avoided if you step up and do the right thing. And let me tell you, I take my hat off to the Mr. Moms. There are a lot of men out there who are mother and father to their children, just as there are mothers who are mother and father to their children. And a lot of them, they take their children to school every morning, they pick them up, they cook, they clean. When they time to go, everybody goes together. Those Mr. Moms. And if somebody see them and say, oh, you don't see him, he just as a woman. You have got children and them all over the place. Mind your business in that case. Because he's doing what is right for his children. He's protecting his children.
So yes, parents, we're just touching on the subject this morning to try and encourage you to take stock of the situation and do all in your power to prevent your child or children being suffering in case of incest. You have to be so very careful these days. Even if there are situations again when you hear children want to go to a next home for a weekend, all these are conditions sometimes that prevail or lends itself for the opportunity for these pedophiles relative to function. So eh, there are just so many situations these days that as parents you have to be very careful and examine before you allow your children to do certain things.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we shall be right back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473 418 1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
Mommy, when we going shopping? School on Monday and all my snacks done. Baby, worry not. It have the perfect spot right here in Sotes for all our shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy. Located on Main Street Hotels in St. Patrick, they cater for all our grocery needs, from laundry detergents, frozen meats, hygienic supplies, up to snack items. They've got it covered, all at reasonable prices. For more information, call Smart Buy today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. They're open Monday to Saturday for all your shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester. 5. And we are back. Jester, would you believe that it is already 11:19? Does time fly when you're having fun, or is it fly when you're having fun?
We also want to encourage our viewers to let's do some SLS. You know what that means, Claire?
Subscribe.
Like, and share.
Yes, do that. That's the only way we can make it bigger on the mental health program. We are really, really pushing it out there so that we can build and build and build to a crescendo. We are listening. The Take 5 program is being broadcast on 107.5 Waves and 94.9 in New York City. So we are on two radio stations right now, 107.5 right here in Grenada and 94.9 We Noise FM in New York City. Would like to say thank you to Mr. Terry Williams for allowing us to come on your station so that we can bring our mental health program loud and clear to everyone, and also to Spice Ram Wade Gibbs. I call him Spice Ram, but it's Wade Gibbs at 94.9 FM, We Noise FM in New York. We are also, with negotiations with other radio stations, to bring it on because we want it to be widespread. Because let me tell you, mental health is no joke. And everybody, people may look at it as it is just the bad part of it. There is the good part of mental health. I am on the good side of mental health. You might be on the good side of mental health. It's up to you to say which side that you are. And when you are mentally okay, your whole life is different. You're happier, you're bubbly, you don't take things for granted. You just do what is good for you. On the other side of it is where people are not being themselves. They cannot function properly. Everything is not okay with them. As the Jamaican says, they're not copacetic. So this is where we have to delve into it. And that's why we are bringing the mental health program every Tuesday. We are talking about different topics so that people can learn a thing or two. Because let me say this to you, each and every one of us on this planet goes through things at certain point in our lives. And because of the support that we get from different folks around us, we are able to climb that mountain and be on the other side of it. There are those who can't. They did not get that support and they are still there. And this is the reason why we are doing this so we can help them climb that mountain and get back to where they were or where they want to be.
Yes, so the importance of that subject matter here this morning, Claire, is to try and help parents be aware and do all in the power to avoid incest as much as possible. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's not too much of the parent, and some of them based on how they react, but is the victim life that is being seriously affected, that they have to live a lifetime with, all right? And to no fault of theirs. So that is why it's so critical that we protect our young boys and girls within our society, that they are not being abused through incest. Yeah, that is absolutely critical. And for example, I read that book from Michelle Alexander. Claire, if you read that book, man, Helpless Cries, she was seriously abused by her stepfather. And I was wondering if her mother really did not have a heart to try and figure out certain things, that wasn't happening normally. I tell you, if you read that book, you definitely will cry. Helpless Cries.
I'm about that.
Yeah.
I ball for anything that
Yeah.
affects me in that kind
And maybe some mothers and things, they need to read that book so they will have a greater appreciation of what ought to be done and try to take certain steps that they don't allow for the children to be victim of incest. And it's a very, very serious thing. It's sad thing.
You remember you were with me when we did that episode where that young girl from England, her her, her mother sent her to live
Oh
with her.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I've never
I guess
ever
you still have
got
that
over
in
it.
your
I should.
in
I
your files.
never ever got over that because I'm saying to myself, how could a mother have her own child and put her through the same fire that you went through, knowing better? At the end of it all, the girl tried her best to get to know who her mother is and do whatever she can. It still didn't work until it clicked in her head that, I have to start looking after me. I have my children. I do not want to go through that because she almost lost her children because she was going down a slippery slope and didn't know how to stop. Is when she started taking the list of what she was doing, she said, I cannot put my children through this. And I'm telling that's scarred me, just to let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because I'm saying this is one story. There are many, many, many more. And the children, young children that go through sexual abuse. And sometimes you see the difference in them. Once some will become very promiscuous, they don't care who they sleep with or where they sleep or whatever, and some become recluse. They do not want to see a man in sight.
Yeah.
So this is a devastating effect that it can have on individuals that are sexually assaulted.
So parents, they got to wake up and smell the coffee. So, Claire, for example, they might have a father of two children. Guess what? He might have a daughter, 13, 14-year old. He has a son that might be 10 years. But guess what? He only picks up the girl to go certain places. He don't interested in carrying the son. You as a parent, you as that mother, need to start questioning yourself.
Why is only
Take nothing for granted these days, man. Yeah.
That's for sure. So let's continue. She said, I feel so alone and I feel sick. Every time I see myself in the mirror, I remember that this is the face that he praised so much, and this is the person whose cousin loves her. Every time I see a picture of myself, I remember the picture he has saved of me and reposted to his accounts. I felt so uncomfortable with his saving every one of my photos, but I didn't want to cause drama. I ended up telling him to stop, but he just dodged my request. I hate remembering those pictures still laying in his camera roll. Even if it is a photo of me from my childhood that I look at, I remember him because he checked my mother's Facebook, and if there was any picture of me, he commented on how cute I was. He did this on a picture of me as a young child. I can't even appreciate myself without remembering him praising me and my discomfort from his disgusting incestual intentions. I rejected his confession straightforward and clear 3 times, but he kept insisting on his feelings. He knew I did not like him, but still ordered me to tell if I did. I feel so filthy about myself. All confidence I had is drained, and I don't know how to regain it.
Wow. Okay, look what can happen there. This whole thing that you have just read, right? It's very, very serious developments. And you know what that can lead to? Because what you realize is obsession taking place there too, eh?
Mm-hmm. He's obsessed with
Yeah,
it.
he's been
Yeah.
obsessed. And when you're being so obsessed, it probably could lead to kidnapping. Or
Mm-hmm.
is this he probably he could have kidnapped and just run away with her or something.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that parents need to really take um serious notice of.
Mm-hmm. And I'll continue. She says, I need to know if my mom is right and I'm blowing this out of proportion. I feel bad about myself. I just want to hide. I don't know how to get closure from this situation. He doesn't show any remorse, and so I have to accept this on my own. But what's the first step in a situation like this? I know it's not my fault, but I still feel like SHIT.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed he got the easy end of this. He got to do all that to me and dump on his feelings, and he could easily run away if it went south. I am stuck with this burden. This happened over the course of the summer, but the confession was a couple days after. I could use any genuine advice. Really, thank you. So I am asking viewers, what genuine advice can you give on such a taboo subject, especially with how shameful and taboo that subject is? And I'm waiting for your response. The number to call is 404 1189. You can even send a message on the topic
Claim that number is you can get your boot directly
and straight, yeah.
or WhatsApp.
Yeah. So yes, I'm still waiting, give us a call because this is really, really paramount to what is going on with our children. And if we are not careful as to how we treat our children, we may end up just as this young lady, feeling ashamed of herself, feeling that she's not worthy, she's not worth it. She looks in the mirror and the face she's every time she sees her face in the mirror, that she's seeing what her cousin tried to do to her. And again, her mother, she's wondering if she's judging her mother wrong for her mother saying to her, don't worry about it because nothing really happened. You can get over it. But be it happen or not, it was there, Jester. It was putting it to
Yeah.
her. It is something that if he didn't say anything to her, she wasn't going to feel that way. But because he kept telling her that he loves her and putting pressure on her to see if she loves him back.
Yeah. Look at how far it had gotten to. She actually started her self-esteem
She
was
has no
going
confidence,
further
none
and further
whatsoever.
down to the
Yes.
ground.
And this is what happens when we see a lot of young women. You see them walking, their back is like that. Their back is round. Their neck is almost inside their shoulder. It is not because they have a sickness or anything. A lot of them are going through the shame of what has happened to them in their life and do not want people, if somebody watches them, they feel that that person know that this happened to me.
Yeah.
So if I make myself less conspicuous, then I'll be able to go by instead of walking and people are pointing fingers at me and say, this happened to Claire and this happened to Jester. It really, really reap havoc on you as a person.
The confidence and
Yes,
everything.
yes. And you always see them wearing big baggy clothes. They're wearing to look unattractive so that people wouldn't see who they really are. And that is not a good thing for any young person, whether young or old. That is not a good thing. And you see them son and they walk in. We were told that when you walk in, walk with posture, walk tall.
Yeah.
Even though you're 5.55 inches tall, you walk 6. You walk with posture.
Yeah.
But when you see most of them and they're walking with their head facing, watching down, this is when you have to start thinking, if something happened to that person, to that young boy or that young girl that they don't want anybody to know about, or they feel that if I'm looking at them, then I'm seeing something about them. It's a lot of questions need to be asked. And if you as a parent and you see the difference in your child, start questioning. They may not tell you instantly what is going on because some of them are being threatened by the perpetrators.
Yeah.
And again, it is our secret. So if you don't tell the secret, no one is going to know. But we as parents are supposed to know the difference when our child is okay and when they are not okay.
You see, and when a young lady go through incest or rape or such, I know with some ladies when you get the history that has caused them to have nothing. They want to have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with men with regards along that line.
Yeah, they become reclusive. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And they stop socializing for one. Some of them become cutters. They cut themselves because they don't know what else to do. They stop eating. You have to learn to see the signs
Yeah.
in your children. Because if one day you're happy and you're doing all the things that a teenager should do and you're there with your friends and all of a sudden
Yes, you just have become withdrawn.
Yeah, withdrawn from them. You don't want to be around anybody. You want to be by yourself. What you're wearing is different to what you used to wear before, to what you liked before. Light bulb should be going off in a parent's head. Honestly, light bulb should be going off.
I like how you put that. Light bulb should be going off.
Yes, in their head and say, well, no, something is not right here. Let me pay attention to what is going on. You may not ask the question at the time to say, well, what's going on with you? You have to start paying attention and start ciphering out, well, no, something is definitely wrong here. Let me start to investigate. And sometimes, let me tell you, the parents that are genuine and investigating, they too might end up crazy when they figure out what is taking place with their children. Yeah. Especially the daughters.
While I was going through the topic last night, Claire, what I realized developed from it, and there are basically three persistent negative effects of what incest explodes. It creates chronic traumatic neurosis with secondary elaboration resulting from a lack of treatment. 2, it creates continuing relational imbalances with secondary elaboration resulting from lack of treatment. And the third one was increased intergenerational risk. And I get from the last one, where I just interpret it to be a cost to follow the generation to being handed down.
You see, and there are some families that incest takes place over and over and over again. And sometimes they think it's okay to continue doing that because no one knows about it. It's inside the house. But you have to get some sort of therapy for your child and yourself. The whole family has to go through therapy. Because you know what, Jester? When one person is sick in your family, your whole family is sick.
Oh, yes.
Your whole family is sick because everybody is going through what that one person is going through. Unless you are somebody that do not care about the people in your life. On further into my research, it talks about the legality of incest in the United States. And it's coming on to the end. It says laws regarding incest in the United States vary widely between jurisdictions regarding both the definition of the offense and penalties for its commission. No, I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if a lot of people in the US know it, even though they're living there. Not all states in the USA charges someone for committing incest. Not all. Some states it happens, and they said, "Oh, it was consensual," so they're doing nothing about it. Listen what it says. In all but two states, and the special case of Ohio, which targets only parental figures, incest is criminalized between consenting adults. In New Jersey and Rhode Island, incest between consenting adults 16 or over. For Rhode Island, 18 or over for New Jersey. It is not a criminal offense, though marriage is not allowed in either states. So they're saying that you could commit incest once you're 16 and over, but you're not allowed to marry.
Yeah. But in well, in Ohio, it's been criminalized. It can be
Yes,
criminalized in
yes,
Ohio.
yes, but
I was trying to consult with one of the lawyers there, but I did not get him to find out what exactly it is within the state of Grenada when it comes to incest
well,
among
it
adults. I don't know what is on our law books, but I'll keep trying, to find out. So maybe when we start the next program, the last time we'll just give the listeners and
mhm.
viewers that information. What is the situation with regards incest in Grenada
But just
according to law?
well, we if you pay attention, if you follow the thing that takes place in here, home here, it is not something that people make a big deal about unless it's a child that is going through it. You see the report the thing about children, but it seems that the adults can do it and get away with it. It says New Jersey also increases the severity of underage sex offenses by a degree if they are also incestuous and also criminalize incest with 16 to 17-year-old. The normal age of consent in New Jersey is 16. Ohio allows incest between consenting adults only when one party is not parental figure to the other. As of 2020, others 2010, cases of incest involving consenting adults are often not revealed to outside parties, and therefore prosecutions of these cases do not frequently occur. Cases of parent adult child incest exposed to law enforcement are usually uncovered by the other parent. So if you are having incestual relationship with my daughter, I am the one that catch up with it. I'm the one that has to report that this is taking place. Otherwise, nothing takes place with it within those states in the US.
Yeah.
And that's why we have so much suicide being people dying by suicide there. Because the children are going through this on their own. And some of the parents, if the father of that child has money or influence, they cannot fight him with any lawyers when because he has the money to back him up. So when we think that the world is messed up, we as parents have a big hand in it.
Well, again, to the policy makers, I mean, because when they have this, it encourages it. I mean, it's amazing to know that so many states in America actually, to me, they condone it in such a way,
Mhm.
you know. So it's amazing.
Let's take a commercial break and we shall wrap up after this because it is it is kind of I'm not really liking it at all, at all, at all. I mean, I did that subject because I want people to be aware of what is going on, but it is a very hard subject to really talk
So
about,
yeah,
Jester.
it
It
is.
is
It is.
because you know the impact that is having on young children and some of the parents who are who really care about the children. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Mommy, when we going shopping? School on Monday and all my snacks done. Baby, worry not. It have the perfect spot right here in Sotes for all our shopping needs. We shop in Smart with Smart Buy. Located on Main Street Sotes in St. Patrick, they cater for all our grocery needs, from laundry detergents, frozen meats, hygienic supplies, up to snack items. They've got it covered, all at reasonable prices. For more information, call Smart Buy today on 442-9219. That number again, 442-9219. They're open Monday to Saturday for all your shopping needs. We shopping smart with Smart Buy.
At Sugar's Repair Services, we offer digitally calibrated machines, resurfacing engine heads, general machinery. Show us your pattern and we'll make it with precision machines. At Sugar's Repair Services, we satisfy your needs. Just ask and it will be done. Call us at 473-418-1845. Sugar's Repair Services, located at Lower Marley, St. Patrick.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.
Jester, would you believe that it is almost time for us to it's almost coming to an end. And to all the listeners who are there listening today, I hope you do appreciate what we came with because it is relevant right here, right now. This is the month of mental health, and all everyone is pushing it, and it's not only in Grenada. It is everywhere. You may think that okay, um, let's take say like Michael Jordan. He has a lot of money, but he too is going through mental issues. We have the basketball players; they're making more money than money Jester, and sometimes they take a break and because they're going through some mental issues. So it's not just us local Joe Blow that is going. It is a human being thing, and we all are humans, and we all go through things in our lives. Is when we seek help for it, we are going to be the better person. So we're going to summarize what we did today for the next few minutes, and yes, you start, Jester.
But I just wanted to make that point because as human beings, right,
Mm-hmm.
we we have the good book to guide us as to how we live.
Mm-hmm.
And even from the Bible, it spoke about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verses 7 to 18, and chapter 20, verses 11 to 21. Yeah, make
Mm-hmm.
mention of incest.
Mm-hmm.
Really, people can go on and read for themselves what it says about incest. It also been made mention somewhere in the book of Deuteronomy. So can't see how this could be something good, and, and look at certain states in America is, I mean, condoning it. So that is in contrast of what my belief and based on what the Bible states. Um, okay, in St. Patrick here, I don't know if you heard about that story. Do you know that a brother and a sister made children? Have you ever heard about that?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I thought you would have known about it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. So I will not say which village in St. Patrick, I don't know. That is just what I see. Brother and a sister make children.
I think we have a call coming through. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I am good. This is Lorna being on the line here, Jester.
Good morning to you, Lorna. Good to hear you.
Good morning. Sorry for calling so late, but
better late than never.
yeah. Listening to the whole experience of that young person, I think first we have to show empathy to anyone that would have gone through such an experience. Because one of the long-term effects would be low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So to get over such, so you may never get over it, but to help to get over such an experience, you have to build back your self-esteem. And how can you do that? There are like 3 ways that I was thinking about. First, you have to accept yourself. You have to look after yourself, and you have to be kind to yourself. So if you accept yourself, you realize that there are some things that you can't change. You were not responsible for what happened. It happened, and you cannot change that. So you will have to see how you can accept that and move on. It's going to be difficult, but you have to try in order to get over that terrible experience. And then how do you look after yourself? You have to have positive influences around you, things that would inspire you or associates that would inspire you so that you wouldn't be going back always to that experience. You have to be kind to yourself. And this means that you have to be gentle with yourself, even when you think, oh, I'm going to be critical of myself. But you have to be gentle, especially in this kind of situation where you didn't have control over what happened to you. And I just wanted to say this is one way that you can start healing from such a experience, is to start trying to build back your self-esteem. So have a good day, both of you and all the listeners.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Lana ended on what was just going through my head.
Mm-hmm.
How do you help somebody to get back on track? To develop that on the self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
To help to turn the tide zero.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is critical. I
You have to first love yourself. And this is why I always preach in self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, Jester, after everything that you go through, you will never be able to make it out of what it is. You have to tell yourself, I am worth it. Regardless of what happens in your life, you have to get the gumption to tell yourself, I am worth it. We have another call. Good morning. Hello?
You actually cut it off.
I did? Oh, sorry, call again, please. I am so sorry. I think I hit the wrong button. Please call again. Thank you. Yes, you have to love yourself first because a lot of things we go through in our lives and we don't know if we are going to make it out. But if you have the metal and the steel, okay, so I have to hit this one. Good morning.
Here.
Good morning, and how are you?
Fantastic. Good morning, Jester. How are you?
Good morning to you, Mr. Stagg. It's such a breath of fresh air to hear you on the morning on the program.
Good. I'm a bit late. I was a bit moving around this morning. I didn't get that chance to chime in earlier. But I know you guys are wrapping up. But quickly, I would just like to say, incest and other sexual prowess that's happening in Grenada. I would keep it in Grenada. It's very prevalent, and if you look at the court sizes, more than 50% of the cases has something to do with a sexual nature. So that tells us collectively we have a serious problem that needs to be addressed. And I think we have to go back to the village taking charge of this. If we're waiting for the law and order to do something about this, it's never going to stop. I strongly believe if you see something and know of something, you need to say something. Yeah?
Yes.
This is the only way we're going to stop this scourge that we have continuous going on. And unfortunately, it's not just young girls are falling prey to this, young boys are falling prey to this. And the stigma of it, I think, is where we need to adjust our education of the general public of this. This is no fault of the victims. This is none. This is an innocent person being caught up in somebody else's um, um,
in the warped mind. You got warped in the warped mind.
Well, I'm trying to be generous. I don't want to go that extreme, but it is extreme. I can only feel empathy for that victim that has to go through this, and I know of cases where other siblings are actually doing that to the other sibling. Yeah, and I'm not talking, it's teenagers, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, and this is happening. So could you imagine the drama that child has to go through? And, you as a parent, and you discover this, what do you do with that other child? So all of these things, to me, it just comes back to saying that, we have to look out for each other. We have to be a brother's keepers. We must say something when it comes to our attention. We cannot just sweep it under the rug. From your story about the mother being more concerned about the embarrassment than the affairs of our own daughter. So that's just to show you where most people are at where this is concerned. But Claire, when you post it up, I will go back and listen to what others had to say or what their reaction was on the show. But I just calling in to say that thank you for the work that you and Chester is doing and bringing these things to the fore so that it can be ventilated in the public space and people can hear of it and know of it. And collectively, hopefully, we will all come up with a solution that will make us all a better society for it. I leave it there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Snag.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stagg. You have yourself a wonderful day, sir. Yes, class.
Yes, I always listen to when he speaks him and Lorna, and they make some valid points when they're coming up with it. So there's nothing more I can add to it. I don't think there's anything more we can add to what he just said. So it is almost time for us to go.
A lot of the things that he made mention of, we had touched on it earlier on.
But it just bring it right home to us.
So he actually summarized the whole thing.
Yes, so everyone, we would like to say thank you, and please, I've never begged so bad in my life, but I'm begging. Please subscribe, share what we are doing here, and really, really press the like button on this, because this is the only way we can continue with the program. And if there's anyone out there that think that what we're doing makes sense to us, and anybody that would like to sponsor the program, just call me at 416. Is it 416 now? Or not 416 anymore. 473-405-2161. We will have proposals ready for if anybody does want to sponsor the program. You can call Jester at 416-6268 also. It's him or me. And we will talk to you, and then we can see if we can come up with different prizes based on what we are not greedy. We are not asking for much. We're just asking so that we can let the programs continue, because the radio stations that we have, we do still have to give them some, some payments for bring us on air. And we are doing that because we want more and more people to listen, because the older folks a lot of them cannot do YouTube and Facebook. They can only do the terrestrial radio, and we're really, really happy to know that a lot of them will be listening. Shoma called from from St. George this morning because she heard us on terrestrial radio. So we'd like to say thank you to Mr. Terry Williams. We also want to say thank you to Mr. Wade Gibbs for bringing us on live in Grenada and in New York City. We cannot say thank you enough. And to all you beautiful listeners and those who have made comments on the live and those who have called, we'd like to say a heartfelt thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We can only move forward together.
We cannot miss out who already started the sponsorship with this program.
Yes, which is Smart Buy and Sugars. Yeah, and we have more in the works, but once we cannot say yes we have it until they say yes we have it. So we cannot but we do have some work in progress. And next week's topic will be I have an topic. I'll post it, but it's something to do with Depression.
Don't mention.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will post
You don't
what
want to
we
find
have.
yourself in a monkey pants, all right?
I already have the topics. That's all right.
Okay, sometimes we do alter topics.
Although,
this thing
okay,
say.
someone
So,
sent a message last night and asked, when are we going to talk about the relationship, adult relationship, and how it affects them mentally? I said I'm going to do research on it, and then this is a topic that we're going to talk about. And to everyone who wants to talk about something that is bothering you, send it to us. I will do the research and we will come up with it. Don't let us just sit here and bring things to you. Send us the email at cjtake5@gmail.com. That's cjtake5@gmail.com with whatever topics and with it. So I'd like to say thank you and goodbye and God bless each and every one of you and we'll see again next week. Just that this is the end of our program. We're going to say goodbye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Take 5, your mental health program with CJ and Jester. With CJ and Jester.